If you run Facebook ads and you feel that they're just not working for you, then this is the episode for you. We are going to dive into that so you know that just by pressing boost or creating an advert with a pretty image is not actually how to run a successful Facebook ad campaign. There are 4 main pillars, and we're going to cover those in this episode.
Yep, and Paul's got a lot of experience with Facebook ads, so here is the exact place to find out everything you need to know to make sure your ads are converting and they're as good as possible.
Absolutely right. This is episode 21 of the Together We Grow podcast. This is the podcast where we take all of our knowledge and experience of growing a home fragrance business over the past 6 years to £7.5 million in sales. We then sold it, and now we've created the Home Fragrance Academy, where we teach other budding entrepreneurs how to start, grow and scale their own home fragrance business. We love doing it, don't we?
We certainly do. We love helping as many people as we possibly can, and it just fills us with such joy when we see everybody else succeeding as well.
Absolutely right. So, shall we crack on with this episode?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So, you mentioned that there are 4 main pillars with Facebook ads.
Yeah. So running Facebook ads is not just about pressing boost on a post, which lots of people do.
Yeah, I hear that a lot when I speak to people. Go, I boosted this post, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah. And even if you actually dive into the Facebook ads platform, it's not just about creating a campaign. There are 4 main areas to it. So you've got the actual offer itself that you're presenting people, the audience you're targeting, the landing page, the website that people view, and then also the actual advert creative itself. Mm-hmm. So they're the 4 main areas. And a lot of people that we talk to would sort of, they would create an ad for their business, run it for 2 or 3 days at £10-15 a day, and it doesn't pull anything in. And they'll think that Facebook ads don't work, or they don't work for their brand or their audience or something like that. And we see these comments all the time. And you can understand that, can't you? You really can.
Well, yeah, I do see that a lot, that people say, oh, I've tried it, it doesn't work. But if they haven't obviously got all of these pillars correct, they're not necessarily going to work.
Yeah.
And also, you can't just put an advert on for 2 days and expect it to work either, can you?
No, that's right. But you can understand why people would think that if
Yeah.
they don't know the ins and outs of it, or don't you? Mm-hmm. I mean, for you, for example, if it was just you running it, I mean, how would it be for you?
I would have no idea at all how to run a Facebook ad by myself. I'd obviously had you to help with that, so I would have probably gone down the route of boosting posts, because that's something that you can see is easy to do. You press the button and you just expect it to boost it to more people.
Exactly. And when that doesn't work, you'll then think, Facebook ads don't work for me.
Yeah.
It's a waste of money, etc. And there's a lot of comments we see online. So that's what we're hoping to cover in this podcast, really, is just talking about these 4 areas to give you, the listener, to give you a sense of the other things to think about here. So we'll dive straight in, actually, with the offer. So the offer is not necessarily, when I say an offer, I mean it's what you are presenting to somebody, what you trying to get them to buy. When I say offer, I don't necessarily mean a special offer. However, that obviously does help. But that's the thing. The first thing to think about is really what it is you're presenting to that person. Now, we always talk about a no-brainer offer. You've got to think about your audience. They're going to be in various different stages of engagement with you. So you're going to have a cold audience, aren't you? These are people that have never heard from you before. They have no idea what you're about. They probably see adverts for similar things elsewhere. You've then got people that are aware of you but have never bought from you before. And then you've also got your customers as well that have bought from you and would quite happily buy from you again. So there are 3 different audience types. And each of those need different messages. I mean, you wouldn't present an existing customer who bought from you 3 or 4 times with the same kind of advert as you would someone that's brand new to you, would you?
Why not, though? Why would somebody not make sure that the advert's the same?
Well, because if you're talking to an existing customer, they don't need to know the ins and outs of your company or need to be presented with a special offer to welcome them in as a first-time customer. Whereas a brand new customer that never heard of you before, a cold audience, you wouldn't want to send them messages thanking them for their previous orders and here's something else. You tried this product, now try this.
Yep.
So you're differentiating the audiences and the messages that you're giving them based on the stage in their journey with you that they're at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Does it? Good. Okay. So we always talk about a no-brainer offer. Now, most of the time, for real, if you're new to Facebook ads or you've just discovered that you feel like they're not really working for you, then what I would suggest you do is run 2 very, very basic campaigns. The first one is a no-brainer offer to a cold audience. Okay. And this offer is something that once you've got your targeting right, which we're going to come on to, this is an offer that is so good that they would feel silly not taking you up on that offer. That's kind of what you want to do, isn't it?
Yeah, you need to have a product that you know that people like, and it's such a good deal or it's just such a fantastic looking product that they're like, oh, I'm not even going to think about this. I'm just going to impulse buy almost.
Exactly, yeah. And I would absolutely try to get across to you not to use percentage discounts in this. Don't say get your first-time customers 20% off, 30% off, even 50% off. No, don't use percentage discounts because they're everywhere. Everywhere you go online, you see percentage off discounts and people just look for them and they expect them. So instead, focus on giving them something for free, which actually will work out better for you margin-wise as well. So our one, for example, at Cozy Aromas, and this is something we were trying to work out the other day, didn't we sell like 20,000 boxes or maybe even more than
30,000 boxes, I think we worked it out as.
And it was a buy one, get one free. So it was a little box of wax melts, $19.99. Buy one, get one free. Those wax melt boxes cost us less than £2 to make.
Yeah.
So it's £4 in total for a £20 sale. Plus you've got your ad costs and everything else that goes with it. But the key here is to have a strong retention strategy as well.
Yep.
That's the thing you need to have. So because once these first time customers are buying this no-brainer offer from you, you want to keep them coming back time and time and time again. So you need to have a really good retention strategy. If you go to our website, homefragrance.academy, then click on the products button. If you scroll to the bottom, there's actually a free course there you can take called the Retention Engine. And this teaches you exactly how to set up basic retention strategies in your business to keep customers coming back. Completely free. Go take it. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, exactly. And it's everything you need to know to be able to convert those one-time customers into lifetime customers.
Exactly. They're all strategies that we used in Cozy Aromas and Craft HQ, and they work really well. So yeah, you've got the no-brainer offer for these first-time customers. Create something really, really good here that really encourages people to come in. And then also, aside from that, you want to have another campaign, which is retargeting. And this is retargeting people that have visited your website, engaged with you one way or another. They know about you, but they haven't purchased yet. And retarget them with a we saw you looking at us type advert. We saw you taking a peek. Do you want to buy this now? Or you had a look at this earlier. Would you like to buy now? It's that kind of thing. Encouraging them to place that order there and then, basically.
It's just a little reminder that you're there, because sometimes things get really busy in people's lives and they have to stop and disappear quickly to go pick their kids up from school or something like that. And that just needs to remind them now and again that, hey, come on, you've got this product here.
Exactly, and it's that retargeting campaign that'll actually perform the best for you as well. So yeah, that's the thing, and so. The very first thing to think about here is that offer. What is it you're presenting people? That needs to be so good. You can approach strangers or give your friends and family a link to this particular offer and tell them about it. See what they think, get their feedback on it.
Yeah.
That's all important stuff, isn't it? So we have a learning pack, actually. This is brand new for the Home Fragrance Academy, isn't it?
It is. We've been really busy working on some new products that are available right now, haven't we?
Yeah, so we've created some learning packs, which are all based around a certain stages you might be within your business.
Yeah.
Whether you're planning to launch, whether you've launched but you're not getting any sales, or whether you're ready to scale up. And the one that's perfect for this particular podcast is our sales rescue kit. And it's a kit of products. There's a couple of courses in there. One is actually a Facebook ads course.
Yeah.
There's video lessons in there. There's also downloadable guides, everything. But ultimately, what we're doing here is we are giving you all of the information you need to be able to put proper sales strategies into your business so you actually get sales. And you get sales on a consistent basis, because we know that's the biggest headache for most people in the home fragrance industry, is actually trying to market and get sales because it's so crowded. And that's why we've created that pack. It's got everything in there that we used in Cozy Aromas, and we're just like sharing everything with you basically. It's action packed. It's not just a course, it's actually a pack full of different things. 2 courses, I think it's 3 videos, and a whole bunch of downloads and templates and all sorts of stuff basically. Head to Home Fragrance Academy and you can purchase that and download it.
And this is something that you'll get lifetime access to as well, so you can look back at it anytime you need to, just revisit it and rewatch the courses and the videos. So once you've got it, you've got it.
Exactly. So there you go. That's the offer. That's point 1. Get that right. Okay. Now point 2 is actually the audience you're going to target.
That's really important, because obviously there's so many people, there's like millions of people on Facebook and Instagram as well, so that you need to make sure you're actually showing your advert to the relevant people.
That's right, exactly. And this is also ties into what we teach here at the Home Fragrance Academy a lot, which is making sure you have some kind of niche audience that you're targeting. We don't think you should create products and a brand which just attracts everybody, or attracts people that likes luxury products, or people that like candles and home fragrance.
Don't be too generic.
Yeah, exactly. And that evidence shows us actually that is very, very difficult to scale these days.
Yeah.
We did it with Wax Kind. We focused out on a niche, and that grew very quickly, and that actually started to out-accelerate Cozy Aromas in its early days. And we have other customers as well, other people that we help and teach, and they focus on niche audience as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So you want to get that right. And within the meta advertising, so basically Facebook ads, their platform, you can create audiences. And this is where you really want to dive in. You don't just want to target people that like candles, that are aged between a certain demographic, that are females or something like that, because everyone's doing that.
Too broad.
What you can do is, if you have customers, download them, upload them to the Facebook audiences, and you can create lookalike audiences of those. And what that does is Facebook will then create a big audience of probably 400,000 or 500,000 people, of people that look like your existing customers. So they share the same interests, they have the same behaviors online, all of that kind of stuff. So they are much more relevant people straight away that are linked to your brand. That's a really good audience. That's a basic one, but that's a really good audience that a lot of people aren't even aware of, actually.
That does make sense, because these people, your customers, already buy from you, so you want more of them, don't you?
Exactly, yeah.
So that's a simple way to do it.
That's right. And I mentioned when I was talking about the offer about the main, for you anyway, for this particular podcast, the 2 different campaigns to create, the cold traffic and then the retargeting. So again, you split those up. You can also create audiences, automatic audiences of people that engage with your brand as well. So you can retarget people. Facebook will know who's engaged with you on Instagram and Facebook, and it can automatically show them adverts. So you want to create those audiences as well, because these are people that are somewhat engaged with you. Now, this ties in perfectly with something else that we talk about all the time, which is doing manual outreach on Instagram, going on to relevant people, relevant accounts, following their followers, engaging with their followers, engaging with them, leaving comments, asking questions, replying to questions, because every person that engages with you on Instagram will be put into this audience, and they will see these ads.
And it's a manual process, but it's really worth it, because you're then going to have that engagement, that almost face-to-face chat with somebody, and then they're going to look at your profile, and because they've interacted with you, they're then going to get retargeted with an ad, and they're not just seeing an ad for the first time and thinking, oh, who's this company? They're thinking, oh, that's that lady I spoke to about such and such.
Exactly.
And then they've got that automatic, like, oh, I recognise that person. So you feel warmer towards the person, especially if you're talking like personally and
Yeah.
asking questions and having a conversation, not just, oh, I like that, it's pretty.
Exactly.
It needs to be meaningful and an actual conversation with people.
That's exactly right. That is why it works so well, especially when you team it up with some ads. And you haven't got to spend a lot on these ads.
No.
£10, £15 a day, something like that, just to start getting the ball rolling. And you can scale up from there. But you've nailed it there. That's so important. And if you are targeting a cold audience here, and you've created your lookalike audience, which is a cold audience, by the way, they don't know about you, but they are the right profile for you. If we always recommend targeting them with a no-brainer offer, as we've already mentioned. But if you don't want to do that for any reason, don't just send them to a product for them to buy. Don't send them to your homepage just for them to browse.
No, that's boring.
Well, it just won't convert because these people never heard of you. If you've got something which is absolutely no-brainer, like I said earlier, then cold audiences will buy from you. We know that because we did it for 6 years. But if you don't want to do that, or you can't do that for whatever reason, then don't get these cold audiences to buy from you. It's more about brand awareness. So you want to create a wonderful founders video, you talking to the camera with clips of you working and all this kind of stuff, talking about just your story, okay, introducing yourself. That goes out to your cold audience as an engagement ad. And then you use your retargeting campaign to target the people that engaged with that ad. And it's that retargeting campaign where you are trying to actually ask for the sale. So there's two different approaches there. It can be really in depth, as I'm sure you can imagine, but actually this is quite straightforward to set up. It really is. But yeah, if you take that Facebook ads course we've got, which is within the Sales Rescue Kit, that will really help, I think, won't it?
Yep.
Get your head around this thing.
Is that actually relevant for somebody that's never ever done anything on Facebook ads?
Yeah, it shows you exactly how to set up the campaign. It shows you how to actually create the Facebook ad account right from the Meta Business Suite. So if you've only just now created your business Facebook page, it shows you from there onwards how to create a campaign.
So that was perfect for anybody that's never done it before.
It's a very short course, but it's quite in depth. I don't know how long it is, about an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's quite short. Okay, so there you go. Point 1 was the offer. You've got to get that right. Point 2 is the audience. Make sure you're targeting the right people, ideally within your niche as well. So if you are doing it interest-based and you are targeting people that love reading books or love traveling, make sure you define those as well within the interest targeting. That's where you're going to stand out here. Okay, and then pillar number 3 is actually the website or the landing page that you're sending the traffic to. So firstly, you've got your offer right. That's brilliant. Okay, you've got a fantastic offer that you're sending. You're telling people about. You've got your audience right. That's brilliant. Now they are landing on your website itself. Okay, this is where you need to do the magic to actually convert them to place an order. I mean, this is something that people forget about or don't even put too much effort in. They'll just use a basic Shopify landing page, a Shopify product page, which is good, or they'll use something from WooCommerce, WordPress, or Wix, or something like that, and they won't put a lot of effort into this.
I have seen it where I've followed the links to adverts before over the past, and I think, oh, that looks like a great deal. I'm interested in that. I open it. It doesn't actually take you to the deal. It just takes you to the homepage.
Yeah, so that's
mistake number 1. That's
absolutely right. You need to go to the right place for starters. It needs to go to, if it's an offer, it needs to go to that page.
Yeah.
And what needs to happen is, firstly, it needs to be so obvious how, if it's an offer, buy one get one free, it needs to be so obvious how that works. Try not to have it so there's a discount code that people need to use to add 2 of these items to the basket. Now, what we did at Cozy Roamers was we had a buy one get one free, and when people landed on the actual product page, I had 2 product variants there for people to choose. First one was your first box, and then that had the themes of that box, clean and fresh, perfume, whatever. And then underneath that, I had free box, and then they could choose that. So straight away on that one page, all they had to do was select their 2 boxes, add it to the basket,
Done.
done. They don't have to add codes. They don't have to add it to the basket, go back, add it again. You want to remove all of those barriers. Okay.
You need it to be as simple and easy for people to impulse purchase as possible. They need to, because they're interested there and then, they need to stay interested, and you don't want it to spend ages and ages and ages for them to try and work out how to buy it.
Yeah.
It just needs to be click, click, done.
Exactly that. And the other one big mistake I see people do here is, because when they're creating their website, they do normally do it on a laptop or a desktop computer. They'll design it for that. It needs to be designed mobile first. So when you're creating this, make sure that you've got the mobile view selected within Shopify and you're building it to work in there. You want to have that add to cart button above the fold. So as soon as someone lands on the page, they see the image, they see the title, they see the price, they see add to cart button, if you can.
It
Or
needs to
certainly
stand
close to the
out
top.
as well.
And that add to cart button, you don't want to have it matching the rest of your brand. You want it to stick out.
Yeah.
We like bright green. Bright green button. We've got those all over the Home Fragrance Academy website. We had them all over the Cozy Aromas website. They worked for us. Don't worry if it doesn't look right. That's how it should be. That's the most important button on that page, okay?
That's supposed to stand out and be bold so people can see the exact button to click straight away.
Exactly. And that landing page as well. You think about it from yourself. If you're going to a website and you're on a product page, what do you want to see? You want to see some beautiful imagery of it, multiple images of how the product looks at different angles, how it works, etc. You want to see when it's going to be delivered.
Yeah.
You want to know how much it's going to cost for delivery. You want to know it's got some reviews.
For me, I always like to look and see what I can pay with.
Yeah.
Because I hate getting through to the checkout and be like, oh, now I've got to go get my card out.
Absolutely. So you want to have the payment cards on there as well, or what payments you accept. All of those things, the reviews as well. So when people go on there, they've got everything they need on that page.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a long page, as long as your add to cart button is at the top.
Yeah, add the cart at the top, tell you when you're going to receive it, how you can pay, have your description after that as well, but just make it easy that everybody can see everything really simply laid out.
Yeah.
And like you say, it doesn't matter if it's a really long page, that's perfectly fine, because you'll find most people won't scroll all the way through it anyway, because the key things are at the top.
Exactly. That's what you want to do. And if you can nail that, then you're well on your way. Basically. So yeah, you've got that offer, you've got the audience, and you've got that landing page now. They are very key elements to running a successful Facebook ads campaign. Okay, so next up is number 4, and this isn't in any. Well, this is actually the advert creative. So this is the thing that people see on Facebook. Okay, that they're going to see for the first time when they first come across your brand. So it needs to be a scroll stopper.
Yeah, something that makes you pause and look at it and pay attention to it.
Yeah. And the things that work well on Facebook and Instagram are single images as a Facebook ad. Now, if you're on Instagram and you're doing organic content, then this contradicts that a little bit, because normally Reels and carousels do the best, which is true. But for Facebook ads, actually single images do very well. And what we've realized, and what we realized in our own testing and our own experience, is actually raw images do well.
Yeah.
So images of you, for example, holding the 2 boxes with a big bit of text over the top that said buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Because
nothing polished.
Yeah, we found if it's going to be a polished advert, it looks like an advert, and if you don't want to spend hours creating this one image that isn't going to convert, and you don't want it to be perfect and polished and look so pretty, you need it to look real. And the one of me holding the 2 boxes, people can see what the product is. They can see a person holding it. They can see how big it is.
Exactly, yeah. A strong creative doesn't have to be polished. Okay, it means it's relatable, it's clear what you're selling, and it intrigues them. And what you should do here is, within your adverts, each ad set, you want to create 5 to 8 different ads, different types of creative, and very different looks as well, and including the product, the actual description as well. So have something that is a solid color with lots of text on it and icons. Have one which is just a photo. Have a reel which is you talking through the products. Have a reel which is showing them how they work in the house. Stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to test all these different things because we're giving you our experience here of what we have found works for us. But of course, it depends on your niche and your target audience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why you have to create a variety. Don't just create the same type of graphic, but with different colors and moving things around. Create very different content.
But if it's different content, the same people and can actually see it, and you'll realise, oh, they engage better with this one than this one.
Yeah.
So then you know what sort of more content to create.
Exactly. That's right. And as they're running, after a week, you want to leave them for about a week. Have a look to see which ones are performing well and which ones are not performing well by looking at the click-through rate, the cost per acquisition, all that kind of stuff. Just turn off. Don't delete anything in Facebook ads ever. Turn off the ads, the ad creatives that are not performing too well. Look at the ones that are performing well and create more like that. And then keep doing the test. It's an evolving process. You can't just leave these for months and months because you'll suffer with ad fatigue, which is where you'll get your frequency rate is high, which means lots of people, the same people are viewing your ads time and time again, but they're not taking action because they almost scroll past it now because they're so used to seeing it. That's kind of what you want to do. So, I mean, that's the 4 pillars there. You need to get a fantastic offer. Think about your audience, who you're going to target. Your landing page needs to be the best it could possibly be with all of these different things that help convert people. And your advert creative needs to be a scroll stopper, and you need to test widely. So now you can see what I mean when I say that Facebook ads is so much more than just creating an ad. There's these other pillars that all contribute to it. Think about it this way. With Facebook ads, what you're doing is putting an advert in front of a particular audience. Yeah?
Yeah.
When you just say that, that's where you understand that Facebook ads do work because you're putting an advert that you've created in front of an audience that you've defined.
Yeah.
Whether they take action, whether they buy, whether they do anything you want them to do, falls down to all these other pieces, which you have control of. So
you've got to get everything lined up perfectly and then get it in front of the right audience.
Exactly. So if you can get these elements right, your Facebook ad campaign will work so much better. We're doing that at the moment with Home Fragrance Academy. It was only last week we launched our new website, our new server, our new products and learning packs and all this different stuff. And we're now doing this, aren't we? We've been running our ads for a little while. We're seeing that early success. You doing your engagement is really working with the audiences, and we're tweaking. We're adding more creative. We're doing stuff. And all of that, if you can do all of that and tie it in with a really good retention strategy, just taking our retention engine course, which is free, will help. Then you'll be well on your way to getting first-time sales and getting repeat customers.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
The thing is, I know what it's like. Soon as you start seeing that little mini success, soon as you run a campaign and you see a couple of sales, and then you see one of those people coming back a couple of weeks later and buying again, that's when you know that you have something there. That's when you know you have a product that people want and they want it again and again. And you know that you have a system in place where you're capturing first-time customers and you're encouraging them to come back again. That's when you're on your way. That's when you can continue to tweak and start to scale up.
And that's where you'll see your profit starting to build as well, isn't it?
100%.
Because your profit is in your returning customers, without a doubt.
100%. I think that's pretty good. I'm hoping that gets across the message that Facebook ads is more than just Facebook ads. It's all of these other bits as well.
It's a whole system to follow, and it's simple when you break it down like that. It's easy to understand when you break it down like that as well, because I feel that's what a lot of people need in this industry, that they think, oh, it doesn't work, I clicked boost, that's it. But they actually need it explained and laid out to them, because most of us don't know what Facebook ads are and how to use them, so that really helps.
Exactly. So if you're interested in learning more about all of this, then head over to homefragrance.academy. Have a look at our sales rescue kit. I think that will be a big help to anyone listening to this right now. There's lots of really good information in there which will help you get more sales. It's as simple as that, basically.
Including a Facebook ads course as well, which is even more in depth.
Of course. Thanks everybody for listening to this week's podcast. Head over to Facebook and join our Home Fragrance Academy community. We'd love to chat with you in there. Tamer and I are in there all the time. Otherwise, we'll speak to you in next week's episode.
Yes, thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget to leave a review.
Bye-bye.